Avengers Infinity War. We finally got a trailer that wasn't leaked. It's not a teaser. It is a full trailer that is done very, very nicely. It's just full of standout moments the whole time.
Because nothing in that trailer feels like it spoils anything. Because the whole trailer it's about Thanos. It's about Thanos collecting the Infinity Stones for his Infinity Gauntlet. That's not, doing anything. They showed Peter Parker using the Iron Spider suit, which isn't a spoiler or anything because it was offered to him.
And it was teased. Yeah, it was teased in Homecoming. Oh man!
Oh, you have Captain America, which
who's got a beard now?
I'm being completely honest. I completely forgot about Captain America. I didn't even know where he went. I'd completely forgotten.
He's dropped off the map.
Well.
Oh yeah, he did go to Wakanda. Actually,
he went to Wakanda because
that's where Zemo was imprisoned. I think.
I thought it was because of his buddy was damaged and they were repairing him.
Right. Yeah. You're talking about Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Bucky.
Bucky. That's what his name was.
Bucky Barnes.
I was thinking Barry. It's not Barry. Barry Allen. But there's.
I wonder if it'll be better than Justice League though.
I wish so badly
that DC would make a movie.
That Justice League could even compete with Marvel. Because there is something just... I grew up watching the Justice League cartoon, and I've loved the Justice League, and I also grew up watching Teen Titans. So, I've been a huge DC fanboy.
I've definitely loved the Justice League, like you. Much more familiar with the Justice League than the Avengers.
Exactly.
Until the Marvel Cinematic Universe came along.
Right. But they started off the right way. They started off... They weren't even hinting at possibly creating a universe. They were just making, superhero movies were just kind of becoming an action thing. And it was becoming people really liked... They liked Iron Man, which I believe that was the first one that kind of kicked it off.
And it's the first one that Marvel started doing on their own. They didn't that wasn't given to Sony or Fox. Marvel did it themselves. That was the first movie that they ever produced.
And I liked Iron Man. I thought it was okay.
I thought it was great.
I think the second one is probably my favorite. I like the beginning.
Really?
I think the beginning in the first one is a lot better than the beginning of any of the Iron Man movies, but I like the second one altogether.
Wow.
The third one's just kind of there.
A lot of people think the second one's the weakest.
Really?
Oh. The one with War Machine?
Yeah.
And it's the
Whiplash.
Palladium is killing him? Yeah, and Whiplash?
Yeah.
I mean, I like Iron Man 2 a lot more than most people do, but it's definitely my least favorite Iron Man movie. But
more than 3?
3's my favorite. See, and with 3, I feel like you either love it or hate it.
I don't hate it.
I love the twist with the villain, with the Mandarin. I loved that twist.
Not gonna lie, that made me kind of sad.
I loved it. The whole it kind of was like Thor Ragnarok because it was quirky. It wasn't anything like the previous 2 Iron Man movies. He goes to Tennessee.
I remember being in the movie theater and everyone always loses their mind. It happened when I went to go see the Percy Jackson movie. Where that's a completely different thing. Not going to go into that. It's a bad movie. We're talking about good movie.
Good movie.
This good movie. But just... If DC had started off with... First off, I think they already kind of started off kind of weird because they did Superman all on his own. My opinion, I think it's the best Superman movie they've done.
Man of Steel?
Yes.
I like it a lot.
He's the best looking Superman they've made because it actually kind of looks like armor. It doesn't look like pajamas. They kind of just made a new Batman. They didn't really and it kind of goes into the whole thing of like backstories with superheroes that are well known. I'm not really a fan of them because I feel like Batman, everyone knows what happened to him as a kid. I feel like if people want to know like how he got his training, I feel like the first movie is probably the best place to do that. Because like even I sometimes go back and watch that just because I forget like what all happened.
Wait, which movie?
The first Batman movie with
Michael Keaton or Christian Bale?
Michael Keaton.
So the 1989 Tim Burton Batman?
No.
Batman Begins?
Yes.
First Nolan movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Christopher Nolan, sorry. I thought that was the guy that did the Batman versus Superman. That's a different person. I don't know actors. I don't care for actors.
Directors you apparently know.
But this movie, it just, there's something about just a bunch of well-known, well-liked superheroes
that have all had incredible movies leading up to this.
They've had plenty of time for growth, for hero development, where they've gained new abilities or suits, and they've grown as people from like where they were, because like
yes,
Tony Stark now is completely different from Tony Stark back in, what was it, 2000, was it 2000?
2008 was when the first one came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
This will be 10 years.
Completely different from where he started off. And it... like, even though Spider-Man's only had, like, one movie, Ant-Man's also had only one movie, Doctor Strange has only had one movie, but I feel like...
I like that because, like, they're the rookies of the team.
Well, Doctor Strange, I think, is actually one of the more powerful ones.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm just thinking of Ant-Man and Spider-Man in particular.
But Ant-Man definitely, and I think, weren't they supposed to come out with a second Ant-Man movie?
Mm-hmm.
So that'll probably be after Infinity Wars. I mean, they're definitely doing two.
I think it's called Ant-Man and the Wasp. Is what the second movie is going to be called.
Gotcha. And is Black Panther coming out before Infinity Wars?
Yes, it's coming out in February, and then Infinity Wars coming out in May. Cool. So we will have about 3 months. I don't even think Black Panther will be out on video yet by the time Infinity War hits. Yeah.
Cool. So that's also... I'm not as excited to see Black Panther, but I think I'm definitely going to go see it just because I want to know a bit more.
Yeah. No, me
Black
too.
Panther. But... oh, that's another thing. Black Panther is just... he's like if Batman and Iron Man had a cat baby.
And Captain America too, because his suit is made out of the same stuff as his shield, vibranium.
That's right. I don't.
Or maybe it's just the claws.
No, the whole suit.
The whole suit is. Yeah.
I think it's mixed. I don't know if it's pure vibranium.
The claws might be pure though.
Yeah,
he scratched
Captain's
Cap's
shield. Yeah, but that's a really cool suit. Spider-Man gets a suit. It's so cool.
The Iron
Spider. The Iron Spider is probably one of my favorite Spider-Man suits of all time.
It's really cool.
It's so cool. And then...
and we were both discussing this. It looks like just the way they cut that scene with Peter on the school bus, his spider sense goes off, which is the first time we've seen his spider sense do anything yet, by the way. Which I'm fine with because he's been, learning. Maybe not all of his abilities have, come about yet. But, he turns and he looks and he sees this giant wheel, and you see him later, like, in the Iron Spider suit on this wheel thing, and then you see Thanos put him on the ground at one point. I think Spider-Man may be the first hero to face off against Thanos in this.
Because it definitely looks like, I think the first shot after the planet is it's Fury talking, and it's Tony Stark sitting there, and it doesn't really, you can't really see anything specific. So this is just kind of like me thinking about it. I think that Tony is on the wheel, like Spider-Man is just knocked out. He's definitely gonna be down, and I think he's like up there, like, oh.
And that, honestly, that may be all we see of him in the movie.
Which would be extremely sad, but it makes sense.
I mean, he's not going to get killed.
No, but if he gets out that soon, I'll be sad, but it makes sense because he's the youngest, and even though he has an Iron Man type suit, first off, there's nothing of him being shown of using it. Yeah. So he may not be used to it.
Spidey never backs down from a fight.
No.
He does not care how outclassed he is. He'll fight to the death if he must.
And I think he's also the youngest Avenger.
Yeah.
So, compared to, he may have like, he's definitely got some kind of like enhanced strength. But I think he may be one of the weaker Avengers.
He's the most inexperienced one.
Exactly. So him falling out in the beginning, or being one of the first ones to fall by Thanos, makes sense. Also, kind of makes Iron Man, it could give him more of an incentive to, I don't know, fight. Because it kind of feels like Tony just kind of like uses his suits as, I don't want to say cleanup, but ever since the third
dirty work.
Ever since the third movie, it doesn't really feel like he's been fighting with his suits the same as when he did in the first and second one. He's definitely been using them for, I think, a bit more of like utility than actual combat.
He shows up when he needs to.
Exactly.
But I like that. I like the fact that you don't know if it's actually him in the suit or not.
But I want him to just go... I don't want him to snap, but I want him to avenge Peter Parker if Peter ends up falling.
But remember, he had a vision of all the Avengers being defeated by Thanos back in Age of Ultron. At least it was implied that it was Thanos that beat them, and that's why why he actually created Ultron in the first place. He wanted someone to defend the world against Thanos and other forces. So
that worked out really well.
We got an amazing movie out of it, you have to admit. I love Age of Ultron. We see, I mean, is there any MCU hero that we don't see in this trailer?
You don't see Ant-Man.
That's true. We don't see Ant-Man.
He's in the cinematic logo. They show him.
But, and he's supposed to be in this movie.
Apart from that, you don't actually see him really doing anything. And he may make an appearance in the second one.
But I think they're trying to do at least all of them in the first one.
Should be really cool.
And I do think of the initial four, I think we are gonna have someone die.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's really down to two of them.
I think a lot of people are thinking that Captain America's gonna die.
Or Iron Man. It's either gonna be Tony Stark or Steve Rogers.
I'd be putting my money on Steve. I feel like
I think it's going to be Tony. I think Tony's going to sacrifice himself to like save somebody.
He could.
They kind of teased it in the first Avengers. And he's like the one that kind of started off everything. But then again, you could also make the same argument for Captain America because he was technically the first Avenger. Chronologically, his movie takes place first. So, yeah, you could be Cap.
But both of them they're done with movies after this. So,
yeah.
Well, their contract.
Chris what's
Evans.
Chris Evans said that he would do. He kind of had a change of heart for a little while. He was saying kind of what Chris Hemsworth was saying, is basically like, I'm tired of these, restrictive diets and the training regime or regimes that I've got to do. Like, he's like, I'll be glad when I'm done with this role and I can move on to other things. Then he changed his mind. He's just like, you know what? I will do Captain America for as long as Marvel will have me. Now, I do think. So I don't know. I kind of think they'll keep him around, and then with Robert Downey Jr., like, this is definitely Iron Man's last showing. Either this one or the fourth Avengers movie, and he'll be done. But I don't think they're gonna wait till the fourth movie to kill someone off. I think they're definitely gonna kill someone off in this one. This is going to be the darkest Avengers movie there is. Not just because, I feel like it's going to be very Empire Strikes Back like. It's going to be very much, they're losing. Like, I love that line. I don't know who's saying it. I think it might be Thanos. It might be someone else. But just, it seems like someone's telling Tony, like,
Oh, it's like, not many things, like, make me happy, but this.
No, not even that line.
Oh.
The one about, eventually you're going to lose. Like, basically implying, like, you've had it good, but that can only last for so long.
Which is true.
They've won every battle at this point.
They have not gone up against Thanos.
And a lot of people complained about Thanos when he walks out of the portal that, like, his skin color looks different than it has. We haven't seen Thanos outside of space. So that would be my argument for that. The coloring of that scene doesn't make him look all that purple, and that's for a good reason. He's not in space.
But there are definite
changes.
facial changes they've done.
Definitely.
Like, his eyes are a bit smaller. His chin is...
He looks better. Like, he looks more like a person with makeup on rather than CG. That's the impression I get. Like, he's definitely CG in every other version that we've seen of him up till now.
I feel like the other versions of him have looked... They've tried to make him look menacing and intimidating. This one doesn't necessarily... He doesn't necessarily look intimidating, but Thanos is the kind of person who he doesn't need to look or be intimidating because he just knows he is. He's an incredibly powerful person.
Just fully confident in what he can do. And yeah, he's just...
He doesn't care how he looks. He cares that you need to fear him or you're probably gonna die.
Yeah. And I love how everything has been building to this. It's so funny too, because like I feel like there have been villains that are either just as powerful as Thanos, if not more powerful than Thanos, that they've dealt with. Like Hela, I would put her on his level from Thor Ragnarok. She's probably just as strong as he is. But also, Dormammu and Ego are both like far beyond Thanos in power. But there's something about Thanos that just...
Who's
Dormammu? He's the other dimension villain that Doctor Strange defeated.
Oh.
I've come to bargain. That's Dormammu.
I haven't actually seen the full movie.
Oh, really?
I saw like the first half of it, and then I think I fell asleep.
Well, we have it. You should watch it.
It's also on Netflix.
Yeah, I do. But yeah, he's basically like a ruler of another dimension, and he's huge, and he completely controls that other dimension. You go there, he can do whatever he wants to you.
And Ego is...
He's a celestial.
Yeah,
he's as close to like a god in this universe as you can get.
Well, I mean, technically speaking, Thor is a god.
No. See, they were acknowledged as gods, but they're really just aliens. They're space elves. They live a very long time. And they're very hard to kill. Space elf. Very strong, too. Space elf.
But they will have Chris Pratt. Is Chris Pratt, or not Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, is Star-Lord's celestial side, like...
It's dead now.
Okay.
Yep.
That sucks.
Yes, it does, because basically he couldn't be destroyed while Ego was alive.
Was that the case?
Yes, that was the case.
Okay. I knew it was definitely...
He could have regenerated just like Ego was.
Okay. 'Cause I thought it was more of... He was a lot harder to kill, but eventually he could be. But, oh man, that really sucks.
Yeah. That those sequences of events happened the way they did.
Yes. Well, I guess it kind of makes sense, because Star-Lord is kind of just seen as a bounty hunter. He's not really seen as a half deity.
Right.
So it'd be weird to see someone who's kind of considered a gunslinger.
Or you never know, it might come back. It might like have a regenerative thing where
That's right.
he's still half celestial.
They could have a Deus Ex Machina side. I mean, you can't really get rid of DNA. So I'm sure there's definitely going to be something in him.
Yeah.
But he's probably not going to be...
Look at Thor. Thor has changed and upgraded with the loss of his hammer.
Right. So he might be able to do some things, but probably not on the same level as he was when he was fighting Ego.
Yeah. Just this trailer, I love how they do the whole the speech from Fury from the first Avengers, where he's like saying, there was an idea that there would be a group of people that could fight the battles that we couldn't fight. Like, oh, that's so good.
Oh no.
What?
Okay, in that last scene when Thor was like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
And it was them. Was Groot baby Groot?
I thought it was Teenage Groot.
That's what I'm thinking, but I think in that shot he was actually baby Groot.
I heard Baby Groot's not going to be... Baby Groot was only going to be in Volume 2. That's what I heard from...
Okay, maybe it was just his head that I saw, but I just... I didn't pay attention to that part, but it popped into my head as I thought that he was like on... I keep blanking on like his actual name.
Groot?
No.
Star-Lord?
Yes. I keep wanting to call him Chris Pratt, which I can.
One complaint, and this really is a nitpick. What the heck is going on with Black Widow's hair? Like, not only did they make her blonde or silver-haired, it's kind of hard to tell. They made her eyebrows like bleached, and she kind of looks like she's got cancer or something.
Did they?
Yes, yeah.
Oh.
They bleached her eyebrows. It does not look good. Not in the least. Captain America has a beard now. That's cool. What happened to his shield? Was it just like
It was in Tony's
confiscated?
chest.
Confiscated?
Yeah.
He left it with. He left it with him.
Last you saw it was in Tony's chest.
It was in Iron Man's chest. There's a difference.
Tony's Iron Man.
By the way, that's actually his most impressive feat that we've seen so far, according to internet people. Because the amount of force that would have taken to pierce Tony's armor is ridiculous. More so than holding a helicopter in
That's
place.
what I was going to compare it to.
Yes, even more impressive than that. So, Yeah. This movie needs to happen as soon as possible. I know there's pretty much nothing that's going to keep me from seeing this movie. This trailer broke records, like most views of a video in 24 hours of like anything.
I think when I woke up dazed with a sore throat and just barely awake, and I just went in the kitchen to get some water, and then he was like, "Have you seen the Infinity trailer?" I was like, "No." Like, it just came out. You should see the Infinity trailer. Like, okay. And I got water and I hobbled back into my room, and I didn't feel like going back to bed, so I put it on, and I think I watched it like 2 or 3 times. And it had, at the time when I watched it, which was at 9:30, it had like 437,000 views. At the end of the day, I think it had like may have been 24
million.
I think so.
That's insane.
I think now it's at like, last I checked, it was at 57.
Oh goodness! Wow. People are really hyped for it. Yeah. So we're all waiting for the Infinity War. I just want to see it. I want to find out what happens, and then I know as soon as I've done seeing this one, I'm like, okay, I want the 4th one out, because that's only coming out just a year later. So,
yeah, I could care less about Star Wars, honestly.
Yeah, compared to this, Star Wars got nothing on this.